The Upside Down Tree. My dear little children, long, long ago, far away in the oasis of Sahara Desert, there was a small, beautiful, lush green village where a little girl lived with her mother. She had dark brown hair and dark brown complexion. She was cute as a button, was naughty, but always nice to her parents and friends. Her name was Maria. One day, her mother, while making dinner, asked her to play outside in the garden. So she went out and started to play in the big oak tree. It was a nice evening. The swallows were chirping and were flying, trying to catch the bugs on the water surface. She saw the happy birds and became cheerful herself. Oak tree was her favorite tree because she had made her tiny tree house in it. Little did she know it was house for many. She was sitting in her tree house when she saw something pretty and Now my cuties, sit tight and hold on to your rocking chairs with both hands, because what's coming ahead is going to make you jump from your seats. Maria could not believe what she saw. She started to rub her eyes as her skin started to crawl. She saw the tree had branches not only towards the sky, where the usual shoot system is, but it had branches towards the ground as well. She thought she was dreaming, so she pinched herself hard, but immediately jumped with a loud ouch. The Bald Village. She did not know what adventures waited ahead. She started to climb the tree down, afraid not to fall. When she was on the first branch, she saw a huge gate. It was ajar, so she entered through it. Her jaw touched the floor when she saw a village where everyone was so big and healthy. Everyone in that village was bald. The people of the village were hardworking. They were poor, but they were happy. Because they were healthy, they grew their food and ate healthy. The people were nice, but when they saw a girl with long hair, they thought that she was from the village with the cruel king, who used to kill people and used to spy on other villages. Maria, on the other hand, was a bit intimidated by so many bald people. Her father was bald too. But in this village, everyone was bald. Girls, boys, men, women, everybody. On the other hand, the people, on seeing her, started to chase her. And she also started to run towards the gate. The people were shouting, catch her, she's a spy, she's a spy. While poor Maria didn't even know the meaning of the word spy. So she ran for her life. She eventually reached the gate and ran out of the village. There she, once again, found herself in the tree. She could have gone home, but her curiosity got the best of her. By now, she had completely forgotten about her dinner. So she further climbed the tree down and entered the second branch. The Rich Village. There was another village, but this village was very quiet. Everybody was moving slowly. The children were not playing. They were sitting just staring in the air. By now, Maria was panting loudly as she had run so much in the Bald Village. Everybody heard her quickly as it was hushed in there. Their eyes were pale and gloomy. Their clothes were expensive. Even the little children had watches of gold with diamonds inside. Their plain toys were so enormous that a child could actually sit and fly in it. Maria was shocked to see. The people walked slowly towards her and asked who she was and why was she panting so much. She told them her whole story about the Bald Village. These people were ecstatic to have her company, since they had a visitor after such a long time. They invited her in for dinner. The dinner was tasty and lavish too. But by then, Maria could not hold herself back anymore. So she blabbered, "You people are so rich, you have so many toys and food and gold and diamonds, but why are you so sad and weak and pale all the time? And why is it night all the time? Where's the sun?" But then she immediately realized that it was their personal matter and she shouldn't have asked them. But the nice lady at the other end of the table smiled, probably after years. She said, "Oh, little girl, please realize that wealth cannot make you happy. We have lots and lots of wealth, but we don't have sunlight. Because of this, we are getting sick. Our children are dying. Our bones are getting weaker and weaker, and skins have fungus in them." Now this time Maria was sad too. Then she innocently asked, "Where is the sun?" The lady replied, "My dear Maria, in the neighboring village there is a cruel king. He is unjust even to his own people. He has built a gigantic wall around our village. We are hard-working people, but when the king saw that we are getting richer than him, he tried to take his revenge by building the wall. Now we are without sun all the time." She then pointed towards the golden chandelier and the tube lights, which were made of diamonds. She then started to speak again and said, "We have made these light bulbs, but they cannot help our bodies use calcium and phosphorus the way sunlight could. That's why our bodies are getting weaker every day." All of this information came as a huge shock to her. By now her eyes were bulging out of their sockets because of the shock. Then she immediately shouted, "I am going to this village and talk to the king to break this wall." Her words spread shock and horror in everyone's eyes, and they all said in one voice, "No, please don't go there. The cruel king will imprison you or even kill you." But she was determined to go, so the villagers sent 2 men in disguise with her just in case. When she entered the village, the king saw her from his throne and he shouted in a rude voice, "Oh girl, what are you doing in our village? Go back at once or else." But she was not afraid of him. She walked with great courage and stood in front of him and said, "O king, I have a request. Please listen to me." But the king was not budging. He cut her off and said, "Go away or you'll regret it." She continued and said, "O king, you have built this huge wall. Now the people in the other village are getting sick because of it. They are going to die." By now she had tears in her eyes. King wasn't affected even one bit. He asked his people to put the girl in a dark dungeon. She bravely turned to the king and said, "You are not going to get away with this." King, on hearing this, got angry and said, "Cut her head off." But the people pleaded and said, "O king, we will put her in the dungeon, but please don't kill her." She was put in a dungeon, but the 2 men who came with her in disguise went back and hatched a plan. This was a last straw for them. two men gathered their people around and asked them to collect gold and diamonds. Then they went to the bald village. They didn't know about this village before, but now they remembered what Maria had told them, that they were strong, healthy, and hardworking. They went there and asked those people for help. At first, those people were intimidated by them, but when they heard the whole story, they decided to help them. Execution of the plan. Together with the bald village, they both attacked the king. The people of the village, after realizing that these people have come to free the innocent girl in the dungeon, joined them and stood against the king, as he was cruel to them too. Now the king did not have any option. He surrendered at once. Now it was his turn to go into the dungeon. Happy times came. Everybody was celebrating their freedom. Everyone was excited and joyful. The wall was demolished and everyone had sunlight. The people from the rich village started to become healthier and happier day by day. At the end, they rewarded the people from the bald village with gold and diamonds. They shared their wealth with them. Now all three villages were happy and rich, but they never left their hard work. The people from the third village asked Maria to become their queen, but she wanted to go home to her parents. So she politely refused by saying that she will keep on visiting them and that she had to go to her family now. Her parents were over the moon to see her back. She told them the whole adventure that she had. They were proud of her indeed.